What is going on, everyone? Today we are going over our trade recaps throughout the week. I did not do a trade recap last week. I just didn't feel like it, but we had a really amazing week. So if you guys do want to watch one of those, I could post that of last week's recap as well. Just let me know in the comments. We have made $2,000 this week on $2,000 in total. We had 2 wins, 1 loss on all 3 accounts. I said, good morning, I'm bearish today until the 4-hour fair value gap is disrespected. I could base my bias just off the daily since we had an inverse fair value gap yesterday. And I said it's important to check all your time frames before you start the day. And price was just disrespected this swing. We were in a fair value gap. It seemed like we were respecting that fair value gap, and we never even swept these lows, to be honest. So that's why I was confused about being bullish, I guess. And found my entry model in the 1 hour and 30-minute fair value gap right here. So this was the 30-minute fair gap, and that 1 hour was the 1 hour sweep. The only thing left to do was to actually look for a trade. And like I said, price was pumping, and I had no idea why, because we never swept those 4-hour lows. Look at those 4-hour lows are right here. That's why I do think we are going to sweep them sometime next week, maybe, or in a couple weeks. I don't know. Even though we just hit all-time highs, we blew past all-time highs today and then just chopped out. I don't even know how anyone traded today, really, but whatever. So I'm dropping down to the 1 minute, and I'm looking for my entry model. I'll take care of this. Oops. And you guys are going to keep seeing these 2 different charts. It's because I take 2 different entries now. And I know you guys are going to come in here going like, oh, you're such a faker. No. I've noticed a lot that price is retracing a lot less and respecting inverse fair value gaps a lot more, especially higher time frames. So price kept pumping up. We swept a new liquidity. And then we had an order block right here. We got that marked out. And now I have to wait for this swing leg to be disrespected for it to be an inverse fair value gap, or for me to actually think about entering into the trade. So price just disrespected that. So we had an order block, we had a fair value gap, we had a inverse fair value gap, and I entered right off that. And so what I did after that, as you guys saw, I did the Fibonacci retrace. Price has been retracing a lot less to fair value gaps. It's like not respecting it every night. So we got in there, and then I put my take profit at these lows because these lows have not been swept yet, and that would have been my break even stage when it hit this area, this fair value gap, to disrespect this final leg because like I said, I thought price was going to just keep tanking. But it definitely did not. So price just chopped for a little bit. Chop. Top ticked me. I don't know why it stopped all 7 contracts out. That's not what happened. And once it did that, I brought my next contracts to break even, my last remaining 3 to break even, and I got stopped out at break even. Only made $200 that day on all 3 accounts, so it was $600 in total. Now let's go over Wednesday because it was such a trash can day for me. I missed 2 setups. Here's where I'm going to go on about the retrace. I got so annoyed. I said, good morning, my bias exact same as yesterday. Bullish targeting quarter. That was supposed to be all-time highs. 4-hour extremely bullish because of accumulation. So we had a 4-hour disrespect of all the swings, even that tariff news candle that was disrespected. So I thought price was going to just keep pumping up. And we had an opening for entry price reach higher time frame confluences, the 30-15 minute fair value gap with a liquidity sweep. I was driving probably when I sent that. Liquidity swept. We're in a fair value gap on the higher time frame. So now we're just looking for our entry model. So we had a market structure shift. We had an inverse fair value gap. So I made $150 because I did a 1-to-1 target, but I did not get my retracement, brother. I was just targeting these highs. So I entered off the first inverse fair value gap, which I believe is also a 2-minute inverse fair value gap, correct? Indeed it was. And then I did my Fibonacci retrace. We did not get a retracement because I would have entered off the 50% here. Oops, sorry. Price just kept going up without me. And I hit my take profit, so I had to cancel out this trade. Because why would price come back down to take my entry just to go to the same take profit? It wouldn't. Or the chances of it happening or not very likely. And so then price dumped again. First quick up off the inverse fair value gap, only 150, waiting for my trace with a higher risk if it does. As you can see, here's my buy limit because I had no retracement, which was, it's not frustrating. It gets a little annoying, but I got to trust the inverse fair value gap a little more. And so price reached those levels once again, blew past them as I just showed you, and I started looking for another entry. So I dropped down to the 1 minute and waiting for an entry. And you'll never believe what happens. Price gives me an entry model. And guess what? I missed my inverse fair value gap. So we had a market structure shift. Brendan, that's 2 trades already. What happened? Oh, I'll show you what happened. You boy's a freaking dummy. We had a market structure shift, inverse fair value gap. We should have entered right here and had a retracement, but I missed it. And we had price swept that unfilled 15 and 5 minute fair value gap. I had no retracement. That junker just kept pumping. Now you're wondering, Brendan, how did you lose the trade? So instead of being a smart little boy, right, I continued extending this after my take profit was hit, and I let price retrace. Indeed it was not. It was three or something. I was definitely not risking that much, and price instantly took me out because I just decided to stay in the trade. Here we go. So embarrassing because I knew I was going to lose. October 21st, 2025, we disrespected every bearish aspect, targeting all-time highs just based off 4 hours alone. Oh, I was going to put beautiful area to start looking for buys, looking for my entry model. So price swept a bunch of liquidity. As you can see, we were in a fair value gap. Trying to look for an entry, boy. I didn't take this trade because I didn't see a clear model, and I was just waiting for a better sweep towards the high time frame confluences, because we also had a 15-minute liquidity sweep just a little bit below here, and ES didn't sweep it either, so there was no SMT. So I was really hoping there was going to be a deeper retrace, which we did indeed get, and that's when I actually started looking for my model. And my model we started seeing our entry model. We had a liquidity sweep here, so let's mark out all of our confluences because this was our best trade of the week. Lower time frame liquidity, we had a liquidity sweep. So what does that mean? With a displacement candle, we had an order block, so price pushed on up past that. We had a Marcus. That's what I'm talking about. They're blasting music right now, dude. It's 12. My daughter's sleeping, bro. It's loud. So annoying. That's what I'm talking about. This isn't. I'm not going to say anything. We had a market structure shift. Then we also had inverse fair value gap. Bada-ding, bada-doom, bada-da, bing, bang, bing, 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 me hang, me. And I did a retracement, and I thought this was the most perfect, sexy trade ever. Price kept going, and I added my thingy-majigger here for the retrace. Swept it. Boom. Swept away and show at the sky fall. And then price took off, and I targeted these highs, as you can see here. Yep. I brought my take profit a little bit lower. So we had a pretty much $700 win. Sorry about that. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. We're almost to 400 subscribers. That's pretty crazy. So yeah. Let me know if you guys what. Please let me know if you guys find these videos informational. I would really appreciate it. Make sure to like, comment, do that stuff so we could keep on expanding. Have a blessed day, everyone. God bless. Please, please, please make sure you guys improve yourself at least one thing every day. Be better than you were yesterday. I love you. Have a great, amazing day. God bless. See ya.